Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to do a deep dive into something that I think a lot of people are curious about and maybe even a little intimidated by.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and that's how having cardiomyopathy, which is a heart condition, can affect your chances of getting life insurance.
It's a big one, for sure.
It is, and we're going to break it all down nice and easy to understand. We've got some great insights from the folks over at Diversified Insurance Brokers. They really know their stuff.
Real specialists.
Absolutely. So you can get the facts without getting lost in all the medical jargon.
Yeah, because that can be a lot.
It really can. So before we jump in, maybe we should clarify something for anyone who's not totally familiar with cardiomyopathy. Basically, it means the heart muscle isn't pumping blood as well as it should be.
Exactly. And a lot of people, when they hear heart condition, they immediately think, well, there goes my chance of getting life insurance.
Yeah, I can see why someone would think that.
Right. But it's not always a dead end. It's not an automatic no.
That's a good point. So it sounds like insurance companies are looking at the individual situation, not just slapping a rejection on everyone with this condition.
Absolutely. They take a lot of factors into account.
Okay, so let's unpack that a little. What are some of the key things insurers consider when they're evaluating someone who has cardiomyopathy?
Well, first off, they want to know what type of cardiomyopathy you have.
Okay, so there's more than one type.
There are. The main ones you'll hear about are dilated cardiomyopathy, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, and then there's restrictive cardiomyopathy.
So even within this one condition, there are these different variations.
Right, and it's kind of like different engine problems in a car.
Okay, I like that analogy.
Each problem affects how that car runs in its own way. So knowing which type of cardiomyopathy you have, well, that helps the insurance company figure out how to assess the risk.
That makes a lot of sense. So they're looking at the specifics. What else are they considering?
Another big thing is the severity of your condition. How well are your symptoms managed? Is your heart function stable?
Gotcha. So someone with mild symptoms and whose heart is doing pretty well overall is probably going to be seen as less risky than someone who has more severe symptoms.
Exactly. It's all about how well you're managing the condition.
And showing the insurance company, hey, I'm on top of this.
Right? And part of showing them that is through something called your ejection fraction.
Okay, now that sounds a little intimidating.
It's really not that bad. Think of it like a snapshot of your heart's pumping power.
Okay, a snapshot. So how much blood is your heart pumping out with each beat?
Exactly. The higher that percentage, that ejection fraction, the better. It's like having a powerful engine in that car we were talking about.
Makes sense. So if you've got a strong ejection fraction, you're more likely to get approved for a good life insurance plan.
You got it. Now, of course, they're also going to look at your medical history. So, have you had any heart failure in the past? Any hospitalizations related to your heart?
Right. So even if things aren't perfect right now or haven't been perfect in the past, there's still hope.
Absolutely. It might mean you need to look at different options or work a little harder to find the right policy, but don't give up.
Okay, that's good to hear. So we've got the type of cardiomyopathy, the severity, the ejection fraction, and past history. Anything else playing a role here?
You bet. Your treatment plan. Are you doing what your doctor recommends? Taking your medication as prescribed? All of that matters.
So treatment compliance is huge.
Huge. It shows the insurance company you're committed to taking care of yourself, and that goes a long way.
And it makes sense. If you're doing everything you can to manage the condition, that reduces the risk for them.
Right. And it's not just medication either. Things like implanted devices, if you have any of those, factor into the equation too.
Got it. So let's say someone's been diagnosed with cardiomyopathy. They're managing it the best they can, and they want to explore life insurance. What kind of policies are out there?
Okay, so the most common type, and usually the one with the best rates, is called a fully underwritten policy.
Fully underwritten. Okay. What's the catch?
Well, you'll need to have a medical exam.
Makes sense. They want the full picture of your health.
Exactly. But if you're not keen on a medical exam, or maybe you think your condition might make it tough to qualify for a fully underwritten policy,
Right. What are the other options?
there's something called simplified issue insurance. It's a good compromise, I'd say. You'll answer some health questions, but no exam required.
And this is a possibility for people with cardiomyopathy.
It can be, especially for folks with milder forms of the condition.
So there's a bit of flexibility there. But what about people who have more severe cardiomyopathy, or maybe they've been declined for other types of insurance? Is there any hope for them?
There is. It's called guaranteed issue insurance.
Guaranteed issue. So you're guaranteed to get coverage.
Exactly. You're automatically approved no matter what your health situation is.
That sounds almost too good to be true. What's the downside?
The premiums are usually higher, and there might be a waiting period before the full death benefit kicks in. But it's there if you need it.
It's like a safety net.
Exactly.
So it seems like there are different options depending on your circumstances. But no matter what type of policy someone is considering, are there things they can do to improve their chances of getting approved? Or maybe even getting better rates?
Absolutely. It's all about being proactive. A healthy lifestyle can make a world of difference.
So the usual suspects: eating right, exercising, managing stress.
You know it. And it's not just about feeling good, it shows the insurance company you're serious about taking care of your health and especially your heart.
So a healthy lifestyle is like a signal to them that you're a lower risk.
Right. And another important signal, like we talked about earlier, is staying on top of your treatment, following your doctor's recommendations, taking your meds. That creates commitment.
Right, it reinforces that you're managing your cardiomyopathy as best as you can.
Exactly. And, not everyone responds to treatment the same way. So working closely with your doctor, advocating for yourself, exploring different treatment options, all of that matters.
It's about being informed and proactive. And I imagine working with a good insurance broker can make this whole process a lot easier too.
Oh, for sure. Having someone who understands cardiomyopathy and knows the ins and outs of the different policies out there, they can really guide you and find the best fit for your situation.
Absolutely. I'm thinking of the folks at Diversified Insurance Brokers, the ones who provided all this great info for us.
Great example, yeah.
They really seem to specialize in this area.
They do.
So, big takeaway here is even with cardiomyopathy, you can still get life insurance.
Yes. It's about knowing the factors that affect our chances, being proactive about your health, and getting the right guidance.
And if we kind of zoom out for a second and think about the bigger picture, this whole conversation highlights how important financial planning is, especially when you're dealing with a health condition.
Couldn't agree more.
And this got me thinking, we've been talking about life insurance, but what other financial planning things should someone with cardiomyopathy think about, like disability insurance or planning for long-term care?
Oh, those are excellent points. Really important questions to consider.
Really is. And as we wrap up here, I think it's worth reiterating knowledge is power. The more you know about your condition and your options, the better decisions you can make for yourself and your loved ones.
And you don't have to figure this all out alone. There are resources, experts who can help. Don't be afraid to reach out to a financial advisor who specializes in these kinds of things. They can help you put together a plan that gives you peace of mind.
Solid advice. All right, well, that's our deep dive on cardiomyopathy and life insurance. Hope you found it helpful.
Until next